Your credit score isn't the whole story. Check these reports first. Imagine losing an apartment, paying a higher rate on a car, loan, or discovering a credit card opened in your name. Not because of something you did, but because of a file you never checked. Credit and consumer reports can influence lending terms, housing, insurance, and some employment decisions. Most Americans think that file is their credit score. It isn't. The score is only a number produced from data. The real story sits inside your consumer reports. Names, addresses, accounts, balances, late payments, collections, inquiries, and bankruptcy information. And here is the question that matters. What do the companies judging you actually see? And can you correct or lock that information before it costs you? America's credit reporting system grew around the Fair Credit Reporting Act, passed in 1970. Its purpose was to promote accuracy, privacy, and fairness. Later reforms gave consumers the right to a free report from each of the 3 nationwide credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. But the rule most people remember, one free report per bureau per year, is now incomplete. The 3 bureaus have permanently continued free weekly online access through annualcreditreport.com. Checking your own report does not lower your credit score. There is a catch. Your free reports usually do not include a free credit score. That surprises people because credit report and credit score are marketed as if they are the same product. They are not. A report is the underlying record. A score is an estimate calculated from that record, and the score you see in an app may not be the same model or version that a mortgage lender, auto lender, or card issuer uses. So the first lesson is simple. Do not stare only at the number. Audit the data creating the number.
Why?
Because errors are not imaginary. In a congressionally mandated Federal Trade Commission study of 1,001 consumers, 1 in 5 had at least one report changed after a dispute. About 5% had errors that could place them in a worse credit risk tier and potentially lead to less favorable terms. The credit reporting industry offers an important counterpoint. It emphasizes that only a smaller share of errors produces a major score or pricing change. It also argues that complaint totals can be inflated by repetitive or template-driven submissions from credit repair organizations. That context matters. Not every typo costs someone a mortgage, but statistics become personal when the wrong late payment belongs to you. When another person's collection account is mixed into your file, or when an identity thief applies for credit days before you need a loan. Even a problem affecting a small percentage of files can carry a huge price for the person trapped inside that percentage. And now comes the part many Americans have never been told. The big 3 credit reports are not the whole system. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau maintains a list of dozens of consumer reporting companies. Some specialize in tenant screening. Others track checking account history, insurance, claims, employment data, subprime lending, or other records used in eligibility decisions. In other words, you can review all 3 major credit reports, see nothing suspicious, and still be denied an apartment or bank account because a different company holds a different file. That is the hidden architecture of modern financial life. Lenders, landlords, insurers, some employers, and banks want fast ways to measure risk. Accurate reporting can make decisions faster and help reduce fraud. But when the data is wrong, the consumer often discovers the system only after the damage has begun. Federal law gives you a second chance at that moment. If a company takes an adverse action, such as denying credit, employment, insurance, or housing based on a consumer report, the notice should identify the reporting company. You generally have 60 days to request a free copy of the report used against you and challenge inaccurate information. Do not throw that notice away. It is a map to the file that influenced the decision. There is also a powerful preventive tool that costs nothing: a credit freeze. A freeze restricts access to your files at Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, making it much harder for an identity thief to open new credit in your name. Placing or lifting a freeze is free. It does not hurt your score, and you do not need to wait until you become a victim. But here is the limitation. You must contact all three bureaus. Freezing one does not freeze the other two. And a credit freeze is mainly a barrier against new credit. It does not erase bad information, stop charges on existing accounts, or necessarily block tenant, employment, insurance, and other specialty reports. So what should an ordinary person actually do? First, use the authorized site annualcreditreport.com and review all three reports. Do it especially before a mortgage, car loan, or other major application, and after any sign of identity theft. Other free sites may bundle subscriptions or paid monitoring. Second, compare the reports line by line. Look for names and addresses that are not yours, accounts you never opened. Incorrect balances, false late payments, collections you do not recognize, duplicated debts, and inquiries you do not recognize. Third, consider freezing all three nationwide files. Save the login information securely, so you can temporarily lift each freeze when you apply for legitimate credit. Fourth, think beyond credit. Before applying for an apartment, insurance, a job, or a new checking account, ask what screening company may be used. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's Consumer Reporting Company list explains how to request many of these specialty files. Fifth, if you find an error, dispute it with both the reporting company and the business that supplied the information. Include copies, not originals, of supporting documents. A credit reporting company generally has 30 days to investigate, sometimes 4, and then must notify you of the result. And do not pay someone to perform magic that the law does not allow. Accurate, current negative information cannot legally be deleted simply because it hurts. The Federal Trade Commission warned again in 2020 that influencers and credit repair operators were promoting false identity theft claims as a shortcut. Filing a false report is not a credit strategy. It is deception. The deepest lesson is not that every credit report is wrong. It is that a system this powerful should never remain invisible to the person being measured. Your financial reputation is scattered across private databases. Some of those records can affect what you borrow, where you live, what you pay, and whether an identity thief succeeds. Yet the law gives you tools to see the data, dispute errors, and restrict access, often for free. The question is no longer whether these files exist. The question is, will you examine them before someone else makes a decision about your life?